I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Well, good afternoon and welcome back here to the Frankfort Convention Center. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Warfield. We're set for the opening round game for Lexington Christian Academy as Nate Valentine's basketball team takes on Newport Central Catholic. The Thoroughbreds of Ronnie Don, former outstanding player there in the 9th region. So looking forward to this game here today. Newport Central Catholic comes in with an outstanding 17-3 record. Lexington Christian Academy 12-10, Greg. But, 12-10, what I like about Nate Valentine this year and the Eagles of Lexington Christian is the teams they've played. Their strength of schedule, and the same can be said for Newport Central Catholic. They've played some really good teams this year. That's what you have to do to get ready for this All-A Classic, especially when your first-round opponent, if your LCA, is Newport Catholic, vice versa if your opponent's LCA, if you're New Catholic.
Yeah, LCA's record's really deceiving, Gary. They've played 9 teams in the top 20, and several of them they have had the lead at halftime, even going into the fourth quarter, but have not just been able to get over the hump in any of those games. So one of the things that Nate Valentine, their head coach, told me that they tried to work on during the snow break was doing 2-a-day practice, increase their conditioning, because as we all know, fatigue makes cowards of us all, and we make mistakes when we get tired. In the fourth quarter, he thought maybe physically they were getting worn down, which caused them to get mentally worn down. So it'll be interesting to see if that'll pay off here today.
Last year, these two teams met in the Final Four. It was a semifinal game. Greg, you and I covered that game, 55-51. It was a tight game back and forth. Of course, last year, the big difference is you had big Matt Rose in the lineup for Lexington Christian.
Yes, you did. They had a heavy senior lineup for LCA, and they really, really wanted that one bad. But today, they're excited about the opportunity again, and I think we're going to see a great matchup.
Nate Valentine's team has some size. If you look at the bigs in this game, Trey King at 6'7", of course Kyle Rode, the freshman, at 6'5", and then you can bring off the bench Carter Hendrickson at 6'4", 6'5". They'll try to counter the big guy for Newport Catholic, who's considered one of the best players in the state of Kentucky. We're, of course, talking about Ben Wire, and all you have to do, Greg, is look at his stats. 22 points a game, nearly 11 rebounds a game, and the big fella shoots 44% behind the arc. That kind of tells you why he's such a good player.
He can do it all. I remember him last year. He was an outstanding player, made all-tournament team. He's won MVPs at some tournaments. He's already signed with Bellarmine College, one of the top Division II teams in the country. He is an outstanding player, and everything that they do runs through him.
Looking at the 3 ball clubs, Kyle Rode leads the Lexington Christian attack with 19 points a game, and then King pitches in with 17, Hill at 12. Same can be said for Newport Central Catholic, Greg Horn. You got 3 big guns. Brennan Hall averages 11, but he's coming off a 25-game performance against their arch rival, Fort Thomas Highlands. And then you've got, of course, Luke Mavis, who's dabbled as an all-state basketball player. He averages 15 points, and then, of course, we already talked about the big fella, Wire. But they've got 3 big guns that LCA's got to be concerned with as far as scoring: Hall, Mavis, and Wire.
Well, here's the amazing thing, listening to Coach Ted Hall in the LCA locker room before the game. 4 out of the 5 starters, Gary, for Newport Central are shooting 40% or better from three-point range, so they're going to have to protect that three-point line.
You just took the next thing I was going to say right out of my mouth. I was watching the pregame warm-ups, and every kid on that Newport Central Catholic team was behind the arc, Greg, and they were nailing threes like they were layups. So I was really impressed with the way they were shooting the three-pointer, and now we know with that stat provided by Mr. Horn, they've got a team that shoots one of the top three-point shooting teams in the Commonwealth. This is going to be a good basketball game. I think think LCA is going to come in ready to play. Their schedule is ready for this ball game. Newport Catholic has been in some tough battles this year. They're ready, and I think this bodes well for a good basketball game. At least we hope so.
Yeah, we most certainly do, and we want to let you know, hey, remind people, we've already got 100 people that have checked in and are watching the game with us, but we got another about 3.5 minutes, or this one's going to get started. So text, email some friends, call them, let them know that we got a great game here, and we'd love to let them know about it.
And Greg, we got a great sponsor, Auto Spa Car Wash, their preferred car wash of Lexington Christian Academy basketball. Thanks to Auto Spa Car Wash for helping us get this game on the air today, because you can't do it without those sponsors, as you well know, Greg Horn. And this is Lexington Christian, Newport Catholic. A lot of people feel this could be one of the best games, period, of the All-A Classic.
Yeah, this is a great one. This could be as good as the championship game easily, and I look forward to seeing what's going to happen. Obviously, one of the big keys for LCA is making sure that Trey King can stay out of foul trouble. Kyle Rode is actually going to start out today on Ben Wire, the big guy for them, and like we talked about, got to defend that three-point line. Maybe Trevor Hill, the third guy, the big three for LCA, if he can knock down some threes, we could have a great game. But we were talking about Newport Central. They are third in the state in three-point field goals per game, so going to have to also protect that three-point line on top of dealing with Wire, the big guy.
And you know what? If we can't settle on the court with the kids praying for their respective, let's get the head coaches, Nate Valentine and Ronnie Dunn, who was an all-state player in his own right.
Yes.
We'll just put them out of midcourt, let them go one-on-one, and we'll decide. That'd be a great one-on-one battle.
I'd like to see that. I bet they both can still play. They both look great.
And of course, Nate Valentine went on to play at Trancey, played on the state championship team at South Laurel High School. Ronnie Dunn played on a couple of regional championship teams and played college ball at Thomas More College, I believe, as well. I don't think he played at Northern, but of course you got a Northern Kentucky connection right now to NKU with Johnny Brannon, the head coach out of Newport Central Catholic, the head coach for the Norsemen of NKU. Nate Valentine, as we said, played his college basketball and coached for several years at Transylvania University with Brian Lane over there. So he's a seasoned veteran coach, but his first coaching job at the high school level last year with LCA, and I thought he did a fine job in his first year.
He does a really great job. They do a great job with scouting, a great thing with individual instruction, and also their kids play really, really hard. I was amazed at the scouting report before the game, just how detailed it was, and he's a great motivator. He's got a great coaching staff there with Ted Hall, and Vince Sanford used to be an outstanding player at Lafayette back in the 80s.
Ted Hall from Sayre High School was over there for a number of years. I think Ted Hall actually coached the big fellow that was with Kentucky last year that went on to the NBA. Dakari Johnson. I think he coached him there at Sayre High School. Let's look at this game, if you don't mind, Mr. Horn, break it down a little bit. I think Isaiah Hunt, I know he's a freshman, but you know what? You've played 22 basketball games already this year. He's no longer a freshman. I think he has to be the guy to step up in this all, because you know Kyle Rhodes going to get his. You know Trey King's going to get his. So I think if Hunt can step up, maybe play some good defense or play that X factor, I think that'll give LCA a really good shot against this very talented Newport Catholic team.
I think you bring up a great point. Isaiah Hunt, Trevor Hill. I tell you, Austin Hall is really coming on too. So Trevor Hill's going to have to make some threes to open up the inside for Rode and King. And then Isaiah Hunt, I agree, somebody else like an Isaiah Hunt or an Austin Hall, or as you talked about, Carter Henderson coming off the bench.
That's right. Yeah, he's been a solid player as of late. We're just seconds away from the public address announcer giving us the starting lineups here at the Frankfort Convention Center. It's Lexington Christian and Newport Catholic here. Thanks for watching. As Greg Horn said, tell all your friends that they can watch it stream live here on PrepSpin. It was in the Herald Leader today. Had the wrong teams playing, but it was in the Herald Leader. Had Newport Catholic playing Lexington Catholic, but that's okay. It's Lexington Christian, and we're going to go down now. Let's go to the public address announcer, the starting lineups.
2016 Kentucky All-A Classic State Tournament. In today's opening round game, the All-A Classic welcomes the 11th region champion with a record of 12-10 from Lexington, Kentucky, the Lexington Christian Academy Eagles. The All-A Classic welcomes the champion of the 9th region with a record of 16-3 from Newport, Kentucky, the Newport Central Catholic Thoroughbreds. Now let's meet today's starting lineups. For Newport Central Catholic at guard, a Bible avid sophomore, number 4, Brendan Hall. At guard for LCA, a 6'2" senior, number 10, Trevor Hill. For Newport Central Catholic at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 11, Brian Anderson. For Lexington Christian at guard, a 6'1" freshman, number 21, Isaiah Hunt. At guard for Newport Central is Ron Carr. The head coach for LCA, Nate Valentine.
Those are your starting lineups again for LCA. To reiterate, Trevor Hall, Kyle Rode, Isaiah Hunt, who Greg Horn and I already talked about, Trey King and Austin Hall for Newport Central Catholic. They are in their blue with the gold trim. Brennan Hall, who's coming off a 25-point career-high game against Highlands the other night. Brian Anderson, the senior. You got Luke Mavis, the shooter, 15 points a game. Johnny Ludwig and Big Ben Wire, 6'7", a senior, one of the leading rebounders and scorers in the state of Kentucky. And we're just about set for basketball. What do you think here early on, Greg Horn, as far as the first 3 or 4 minutes of this game?
Well, one of the things that they talked about at LCA's locker room is that they played tentative in the All-A Classic and told their guys to be more aggressive in the way Newport Central plays press in full court. I think they won't have any choice.
King wins the tap, and Hill's got it for the Eagles of Lexington Christian. He's going to work it across on Anderson. Lobs down low to Rode. Rode trying to post up. Cal spinning, turns, and short, a little bit short on the shot, and rebounded, but a reaching foul is going to be called on Rode as Mavis had the ball, Greg, and Rode just trying to reach in, knock it away.
Yeah, just a little frustration foul there. Can't get those today, though. They need Kyle Rode on the floor all 32 minutes.
But I like the look by Cal down there. A nice spin move, a little fadeaway jumper. Couldn't get it to go, but no score, just underway. First possession was for the Eagles, and that's Brennan Hall. He's coming off that big game against Highlands. In the corner, they swing it to Anderson. Launches three, bulls. That's what we were talking about. The three-point shooting of Newport Central Catholic. Anderson knocks down the three out of the corner.
Well, that's what they told their guys, that you got to find the three-point shooters. With 4 guys that can shoot over 40% from three-point land, they can knock them down.
Hill trying to go to Hunt, knocked away there. Great hands by Hall, knocking it out of bounds on the far court. We're high atop the Frankfort Convention Center, kind of like the catbird seat up here, Greg.
Great view, really great place for basketball.
Up here with Mr. Warfield, the king of stream here with PrepSpin. And thanks to Terry Johnson and the folks at Lexington Christian for allowing us to broadcast this game. Shout out to some special viewers today. Rick Panel, he's got it on the big screen over at Panel Swim Shop over there today, Greg.
Well, they're great supporters of LCA, and we appreciate their support. And
Hunt, long three, off the mark, and tracked down there by Brian Anderson. Anderson with the rebound. Hall, he kicks it over to Ludwig. Ludwig lines it up, in and out. There's Wire battling, tapped around. They try to get it back down the wire, and they throw it out of bounds, and they're going to say it went off of a LCA player, but I thought Wire might have got a hand on that, and so did Trevor Hill. He's pleading his case, but, I don't think even the top attorney in the country is going to win that case.
No, don't think
Whoever
so.
that might be.
That's
There's
right.
probably some attorneys watching is why
Absolutely.
I watched what I was going to say there.
Yeah, wisely
I was going to say
said.
Al Gershwitz, but, he's probably not. 6:43, 3-0, and the only difference is a three-point shot by NCC. That's Wire to the basket and a scoop for the big fella. That's what they like about him, Greg. He's real good at taking the ball to the basket, obviously. 5-0, Bread's on top.
Yeah, they told LCA his game plan was to attack the ball screen. They did that, and Wire made him pay by taking it to the basket.
Rode was in trouble. Nate Valentine wants a timeout. He finally got it over to Trevor Hill, but before he could get the pass over there, Coach Valentine didn't like the pressure by NCC, got the timeout. 6:23 to go here in the first quarter, 5-0. Again, thanks to Otto Spall Car Wash, their preferred car wash of the LCA basketball program. Otto Spall Car Wash. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Warfield, 5-0. The three-pointer by Anderson out of the corner, and Wire with the nice move to the basket has put the Breads up 5-0 on LCA.
Yeah, Newport Central just showing what they do well, shooting the three, and then Wire just doing it inside and outside, so no surprise there. But it looked like LCA's nerves are kind of getting them a little bit. Coach Nate Valentine, wise timeout by him, I think.
Let's see if they can get Trey King going and get Kyle Rode going, the freshman. Of course, Cal started as an 8th grader last year for the Eagles basketball team. Trey King came on late last year, but boy, when he came on strong.
Huge progress this summer. He really got comfortable with his height, can really handle the ball well for a 6'6" guy.
As you say that, he's bringing the court across the timeline. Finally hands off to Hill. He spins there on Anderson, and they dump it to Kyle Rode. Strong move to the back, blocked away by Wire, though. That's another thing Wire does. Ron Don thought that went off of Rode as he gets up and applauds the block there, but Wire, one of the best shot blockers in the state.
He really is. Outstanding player. Bellerman's getting a really good one.
That's right, headed to Bellerman. Ball knocked away. I'm surprised he didn't go to Northern with the Johnny Brandon connection there now, who played at Newport Central Catholic, the head coach at Northern Kentucky. But as you said, Bellerman got him a good one. So Carter Hendrickson comes in for Lexington Christian.
Yeah, they need a really big boost from him. He came off the bench Lafayette his first game of the year after having a foot injury and gave him a big spark. Hopefully he can do that today.
Great defense by NCC as the pass from King was picked off, and that's Brian Anderson. He gives it now to his teammate, and they take it to the basket, lay it up and in. That is Luke Mavis. And quickly, it is 7-0 Breads. LCA's got to settle down here, Greg.
Yeah, they just need to get on the scoreboard and settle down. Unfortunately, another turnover.
Bad pass over the head of Road, and in the corner out, and long pass skips it over now to Mavis, and we're going to say he stepped out of bounds on the long pass. And Brendan Hall's sitting there thinking to himself, why not just go ahead and shoot that thing? You know, I was open from 3.
I tell you, they do a great job of spacing the floor. Newport Central does. They know where their shooters are. They run to the spots in transition, and LCA is going to have to get back in transition defense, or it could be a long day.
Kyle Road hands to King. Long pass out front now to Hall. Hall, they loop it back. That's Christian McBeath. He just checked in under the radar, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He did
And
sneak in there on us.
Hendrickson is in there as well. Hands it to McBeath. Angles right side, hands it to King. Launches a long jumper. Off the iron, no. Tapped around, coming out in the hands of Wire. He's got a bust down. Wire on McBeath. Wire to the basket and rolls off there and tapped around, and King's got it. Ball knocked away, though, and picked up by NCC, then knocked away by Lexington Christian. They kick it in the corner now to Hall, and he lines it up. That's off the mark, and we're going to have a foul on King, and he will shoot 3 free throws. So Brendan Hall will go to the line.
Well, unfortunately, not the start that LCA wanted to get here. Just having a hard time getting on the scoreboard. Can't get the loose balls, but I just think they're really nervous. I think they can just settle down, get a bucket. Trevor Hill, the senior, getting ready to check back in. Hopefully they can settle down and make this a game.
Hall, the sophomore, misses the first one. He's got 2 more. Of course, he was fouled shooting the three-pointer, and that's a no-no, Greg. I don't care what anybody can say. You do not foul a three-point shooter because he only hit, well, in the case of Cath, they got about a 40% chance of making it, but most shooters maybe 30% at best.
I agree.
But Hall knocked the second one down. It's 8-0. Bread's on top of the Eagles. Back in is Hill for Hall.
Other reason you don't want to put Newport Central on the foul line is they are 10th in the state. They make 74% of their free throws as a team.
Another good reason. And he's 2 of 3 as Brendan Hall, the sophomore, coming off a 25-point game against their nemesis, Fort Thomas Highlands, in their big win. 9-0 Breads, but LCA just needs to knock down a couple of shots here and get right back in this thing and settle into the ball game. Still got a goose egg up on the board there. Right side, it goes now to McBeath. Christian over to King. Down low, Kyle Rowe. Ball knocked away. Rowe picks it back up. Might have got away with a walk. Kicks it back out. Hill thought about the 3. Spins down the lane. Hill blocked away by Wire. Picked up. Hook shot rolls off. There's King battling. Back it goes now to Lexington Christian. And let's see, a 3-pointer on the right side won't go for McBeath. Nice rebound by Rowe. Ball hit. Kicked off his foot. And they're going to call a kick there by. But I do like the offensive board work. I mean, LCA got crack after crack there, Greg. Just couldn't get anything to fall. They'll start falling.
Yeah, tremendous effort. They just got to hit those boards, get some second shots. But Newport Central showing they're really good on defense, very aggressive.
They kick it deep over in the corner to Mavis. Mavis cut off. Double team. Kicks it out to Hall, to Wire. Wire back over goes to Anderson, and his 3 is nothing but net. Anderson, second 3 for Anderson was 6. It's 12-0. Newport Central Catholic here. Just under 4 minutes, and we're going to have another timeout called by Nate Valentine of Lexington Christian trying to settle his ball club down.
Newport Central, unbelievable ball movement. They get such great ball reversal, and like I said, Ronnie Don does a phenomenal job with getting everything spread out. So
we're going to step out, Greg. 3:55 in the first. It's all Newport Central Catholic. The Breads 12, the LCA Eagles nothing here. We'll return on PrepSpin.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Gary Ball with Greg Horn, William Warfield back. First quarter action. Newport Central Catholic has jumped out of the gate 12-0 behind 2 big threes by Brian Anderson, and pretty much from the same spot on the floor, Mr. Horn.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where they found the three-point
And a
line
shot
and they-
finally goes for Hendrickson. Carter Hendrickson says, I'll get things going off the bench. Gets the first basket for the Eagles, 12-2. Lead is 10. There's Anderson, kicks it to Hall. Hall toward the basket, scoop, and miss it. And Hall will go to the line for the fourth time. Remember, he fouled shooting the three, made 2 of 3. Now he's going to go to the free throw line, shoot a couple of more here. And the foul went on Hendrickson. Team's third foul against the Eagles. And at the line, Brennan Hall. And talk about three-point shooting, Greg. 46% behind the line for this young man.
Yeah, he shoots it well and shoots 71% from the free throw line, but already missed 2,
Yeah,
which LCA needs any silver lining they can find right now.
Only 50% right now. You're exactly right. 2 for 4 for Mr. Hall, the sophomore. 12-2. NCC on top. Second free throw, nothing but net, as they say. 3 points now for Hall, all at the line. And here's Trevor Hill trying to get it across for LCA. Kicks it over to Hendrickson. Across the line. Well, Henderson's a good-looking sophomore to King. King dumps it right side to Rhodes. Spin move by Kyle, and he missed it. There's King battling no right side, banks it home. Great job by King. I call that stick-to-itiveness.
They did. They stayed after it, and they got the bucket. The big guys, Kyle Rhodes and Trey King.
13-4, lead cut to see. Here's Anderson again. That's off the mark. He was 2 for 2 prior to that miss. Pulled out of there by Hill. Hill wants to push it. He said, I'm tired of this. Let's go. Hill to the basket on Wire with another block. That's his third.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of guys that can move as quickly as Wire does at that size. Usually Trevor Hill can finish that, but Wire's showing why he's one of the top players in the state.
3 blocks already, Greg, and we've only played 5 minutes and 12 seconds of basketball. That's almost a block a minute.
Yeah. I do like Trevor Hill's aggression, though. You got to take it at the shot blocker.
Hill baseline. They're going to say lowered his shoulder, and that's a ticky-tack foul, but they call it on Hill. Pengallo did a good job of selling it, who just checked into the ball game for NCC. Stephen Pengallo, the 5'9 sophomore.
Well, one of the things the LCA talked about is maybe playing a little 2-3 zone, just trying to shake things up. Don't know if they'll do that, but the full court man pressure not working well because of such great ball movement by Newport Central.
Stephen Pengallo, long lines of Pengallos that have played at Newport Central Catholic up on the hill there. Wire looking for Anderson deep in the corner. Wire kicks it deep over there to him. Anderson fakes, works with the basketball. Good defense there by LCA's Christian McBeef.
This 2-3 zone at least is making the ball movement increase a little bit better. But
all nothing but net on the 3. Brennan Hall with 6 points now. Lead back to 12, 16-4. Just when you think LCAs might climb back in it, you get a big 3, and that's what NCC is so good at, Greg, is shooting those threes, as you already referenced earlier.
Yeah, they're making them, and that's not that it's unexpected, but shooting even at higher than a 40% rate right now.
Hill a long 3, back of the rim, no, and a backside rebound by Anderson. Pengallo gets it from Hall, back over to Brennan Hall. He's working on Hunt there. To Pengallo. Wire and blocked by King, and King got a piece of it and got a piece of the basketball by Trey King, and here comes LCA. And Hendrickson, deep 3, rolls in there, hit the iron and curled over for Carter Hendrickson. He's got 5 of the 7 LCA points, 16-7. New Cath on top. Good to see Carter getting a kinder, gentler role.
Yes, he's got 5 off the bench already. LCA definitely needed some help there.
Wire working on King. In trouble. Kicks it back Mavis, and the 3 is off the mark. Mavis is 0 for 2 from 3, and rebounded nicely by Hendrickson. I like this Hendrickson kid. He's a, as they say, he's a baller.
Yeah, I think it's only his 4th game back because he had a foot injury, but man, he's given him a huge burst today.
Hendrickson deep on the right baseline, cut off, looking for King. Wire's on him, but give it up to Trey. Trey works in on Wire, trying to get him in some trouble. A little fadeaway, in and out, but a nice shot there by King, but couldn't get it to go. 16-7. Bread's by 9 and 45 seconds here. And if you're Ronnie Don, Greg Horn, do you take the last shot here? No, they don't look like they are.
I don't think they will.
Pengallo to Mavis. Well, his dad was a player. Back it goes now to Brennan Hall. In the corner, Anderson down low, Wire spinning. Ball, and he's going to be tied up on a jump ball. And the possession arrow will give it back to, I believe, to the Breads. And Kyle Road will check in for LCA. And going out will be Christian McBeef. Good minutes there by McBeef.
Big time and great aggression on the defensive end. That's what they've got to do. LCA's got to be more aggressive.
Agree. Deep in the corner, Mavis, and that 3 is knocked down. He missed 3, but he keeps shooting them like all shooters do, and he knocked down the the attempt there, and it's back to 19-7. 12-point lead for the Breds. 16 seconds. Hill gives it up to Rode, over to Hunt. Hunt a long three, won't go, but picked up out top. Hill's open from three, launches in and out. King battling with Wire, but Wire pulls it out. There's the Hall launching from about 35, and he knocks it down. Brandon Hall, his second three from 35 feet. It's 22-7, and Greg kind of punctuates the first quarter there for NCC, doesn't it?
Sums it all up right there, Gary.
22-7. Breds leading LCA. We'll come back with second quarter action here on PrepSpin. Thanks again to Otto Spall Car Wash, the preferred car wash of Lexington Christian Academy basketball. We'll be back to the Frankfort Convention Center here on PrepSpin after this timeout.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
The winner gets Danville, a big winner over Shawnee, 75-43. And boy, Newport Catholic Red Horn, just a blitz there in that first quarter. 22 points. Of course, it ended with a three-pointer there by Hall. Good movement by King out of the baseline. Knocks it down. Oh, his foot was on the line. Looked like a three from up here, but then again, we're pretty high up.
Well, that's what they need. Trey King, if he can get his confidence going, start putting the ball on the floor, too, after making that jump shot, it'd be huge for LCA.
Wire with the dunk on the entry pass.
Yep. Newport Central is a great team, and their ball movement, I know I've said it 5 times, but I haven't seen a high school team this year that moves the ball as well as they do on the offensive end.
That's how their head coach, Ronnie Don, used to move the ball when he played. Ball knocked away, picked up Pengallo, gives back to Wire. Wire over now to Mavis, a long three, in and out. There's Road battling with Wire. Trey King pulls it off with that big 6'7" frame, and is going to be fouled on a reach there. And Wire was running through. Let's see. Looked like they might have gotten that one on Anderson.
Number 11, Brian Anderson hits first.
First foul on Anderson. 24-9, Greg, with 7:01 to go in the first half. LCA needs to chip away at this 15-point lead, get it down to a workable margin, and settle down in the second half. They can get back in this game, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah, they can get this thing down to around 10 by halftime. I think they'll be fine. Just a little bit of nerves and playing an outstanding team today.
Hill comes over now to Austin Hall. And ball knocked away. King battling sideline and kick it back out to Hill. Hill down the lane. Dipsy Doodle scooping in. Nice move by Trevor Hill. No Wire that time blocking it.
Yeah, Trevor Hill playing like a senior that time, just saying, you know what, I'm going to go to the basket and see what I can do. And great finish.
24-11. NCC on top out of the 9th region up in northern Kentucky. Newport Catholic consolidated. Just used to be an all-boys school, but went to Newport Central many years ago to allow girls to attend there to get the enrollment up. Out deep out of the corner, and there's a shot. Won't go there for Newport Central Catholic's Johnny Ludwig. I believe that's the first shot we've seen by Mr. Ludwig today.
Yeah, he's not got as many looks, but the guys that are taking them are making them.
King from three, bullseye. That time, he said, you know what, I'm getting a foot behind the line this time, Greg Horn. That's a three. Nice shot by Trey King. He's got 7 now.
Eagles got it down to 10.
24-14, as we said, get it to a workable margin. Newport Catholic knows that this is a quality LCA team, and they brought out their A game to get that lead. And there's Hall, left side. He's looking for his 11th off the mark. He's starting to miss a little bit. Here's Kyle Rode. Kyle says, let's get it going here. Rode to the basket, hanging, banking, and it will count. No, they waved it off. For a moment, I thought one official counted the basket, but no, he waves it off and says a charge. And Kyle Rode can't believe the call. Neither can Nate Valentine.
I think they called it a block. It's a block, so that's
Called a
good.
block before the shot. You're exactly right.
Nice European move there by Kyle Rode. And
tell you what.
unlike you, think you could have got the continuation, but that's
and
okay.
one, yeah, I got to give him the N1 if I'm going to, just for the effort there by Kyle Rode. Sometimes you got to look over things. Here's a King. King left side backs up, and he launches. In and out. That would have counted had it gone, and the foul is going to be called on Newport Central Catholic's Ludwig. No, Robleski, I think, picked it up. Trent Robleski just checked in and picked up the foul. So King going to the line, and a lot of time Mr. Horn still left in this first half, nearly 5.5 minutes, and King can cut into this 10-point lead. He does, making the first free throw. Yep. And shout out to Tony King watching down in Louisiana.
And Bob is the grandfather of Carter Hendrickson watching as well.
And Bob, grandfather Carter Hendrickson's watching as well. So a lot of folks watching. You know, Trey got the first one, got it down to single digits, missed the second one, and here come the Brads. They're in the blue and LCA in the white, the home team. Almost a steal by Hill on Pangallo, and then with a second, and Hill says, what? And you know what? That's great effort there, though, by Trevor Hill. He'd be whistled for the foul, but you know what? Still, that's going to give Pangallo some thoughts now that, hey, this number 10's getting after me.
I love it. I love Trevor Hill, leading by example. The senior, thought that was a little ticky-tack, but great effort. Never going to fault a kid for that kind of effort.
Pangallo, of course, great basketball players in Newport Cal. This kid's going to be a good one. I believe he's only a sophomore. Pangallo, ball almost knocked away, and a jump ball called. But remember, LCA started with the ball to start the second half, so the possession arrow back to the Brads. And Ben Wire, Big Ben Wire, pleading his case with the officials. I don't know what he's arguing about. You got the ball back, Ben. Well, that's what it is. He thought LCA was going to get the ball as he was down on their end of the court. Now he's going back the other way. Think, okay, that's how we got
great
the ball.
Defense by LCA. That's what the game plan was, to attack the ball screen. That was a great example right there by Trey King and Isaiah Hunt.
Hall in trouble. Throws it away.
There you go.
Rode with the pick and Rode to the basket. He's fouled. It will be the soup and the sandwich.
Yes, sir. That was perfectly, again, that's what they talked about before the game, is they wanted to attack the ball screen, Gary. Executed to perfection. Got a fast break, easy transition basket. LCA needed that, and they're back in this one, Gary.
Yeah, back in it big time. Here come the Eagles flying high. 4:56 in the first half. On the cow rolled steal, and he'll try to finish it with the free throw here. We'll come back to the Frankfort Convention Center. 24-17, New Cath. But remember, they led by 12. Now it's down to 7. Could be to 6. We'll return on PrepSpin. And we're back here at the Frankfort Convention Center. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Warfield here bringing it to you in high definition. How about Mr. Rode, huh? He not only got the N1, he's going to try to finish it here for Greg Horn with the three-point play. Cut this down to a 6-point ball game.
Well, Kyle shooting over 70% from the free throw line, so hopefully he can bury this one.
And it rolls out of the reboundable wire. 4:55, 24-17. Brads on top of 7. They led by a dozen. They kick it deep in the corner now to Ludwig. Ludwig in trouble. Carter Hendricks is on him. They go down low with the basketball, and nice shot there, and they call a late whistle, too, on the lay-in by Austin Neff. And, man, that was a late whistle. I didn't see a foul from up here, but they called a foul.
Yeah, a little surprised. The official underneath the basket calls it from behind on Trey King, and usually that's called by the official up top, but that's part of the deal. Just got to play through it, so.
At the line is Neff. He has 2 points, 6'3" junior. Neff's free throw rolls out, rebounded by King. King's got at least what? We don't have a stat monitor up here, but are you keeping stats? I'm keeping scoring and all that and foul, but Trey King's got to have at least 5 or 6 rebounds.
Absolutely.
Already.
We will get some at halftime. I'm
Hunt
go down
to 3, off the mark, a follow up and in, nicely done by Hendrickson.
Austin Hall.
Excuse me.
Great move, Austin Hall. Just a sophomore, he is really improving. Hall Henderson, at this point, they don't care long as they get him.
I saw the wrong number. Excuse me. Got to get the old eyes working up here. Here's a reverse, won't go. Wire stick back, no. Wire gets it back, hooks it, no. And Wire battling, he's going to be fouled. It is 26-19, And excuse me, that was Austin Hall with that finish there earlier. Well, I tell you what, he timed that perfectly too on that miss. Went up, grabbed the ball, banked it home off the glass. Austin Hall, the sophomore, with his first field goal, is 26-19.
I'll tell you, this Wire is unbelievable. Not only is he talented, he plays so hard. He was not going to be denied that.
Oh, but he's padding his stats there. I mean, he got 4 rebounds on his own misses.
Little Moses Malone action, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Little old school there for you. Little Moses Malone.
I like this Wire kid, too. Missed the free throw. Rebound to pull down by McBeath. Christian back in there. Gives now to Trevor Hill. We'll check the lineup for you. It's Hunt, Hall, Hill, Road, and who else we got in there? Looks like
Isaiah McBeith is
yeah, Christian McBeath, right. So that's your lineup for LCA. And we got here comes Carter Hendrickson back in, who had five critical points because LCA, if they ever needed scoring, they got 5 points out of Carter in that first quarter when they were really in a drought.
Yeah, that was huge. I know his grandfather listening down in Florida has got to be proud of him, and Kyle Rhodes has family up in Minnesota. So
Hill launching the 3, off the iron, no, tapped around by Wire, and coming down to the hands of Brennan Hall. 3:40 in the first, 26-19, long pass to Anderson. Down on that, could be a travel there, and a good call by the official right on top of it. Luke Mavis did not agree with the traveling call, but he definitely shoveled his pivot foot a little bit there. 3:35 here. Boy, a 3 here would make this very interesting if LCA could come down, stick a 3 here, or even make a field goal and get it down to 5 points.
That would be great. Great job by LCA getting back in transition that time, and they got the turnover.
Good save in the middle to Kyle Road, working on Wire. Road with a little floater, rolls in there. Nice soft touch by Kyle Road. He has 4, and it's 26-21. LCA has cut it to 5 after New Cath led by as many as 12.
Got ourselves a ball game now, Gary.
Pass underneath goes off of Mavis. Wire battling for it. On the floor, bodies flying, and they stick it over right side. Mavis lays it up and in. Great hustle by Neff.
I love the Eagles' effort, though. 4 Eagles on the ground for the loose ball. Just didn't get the ball to bounce their way.
Trevor Hill works it across on Anderson. Kicks it back over to Austin Hall. Oh, high pass over the head there of McBeath, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, cross-court passes are really dangerous, yet I know he saw McBeath, but right now I just want to keep it really simple if you're LCA, because you're in this game right now. Don't need the home run play, just nice and simple.
2:48 in the first half, 28-21. New Cath is led by as many as 12. They led by 12, Greg, a couple of 3 times in that first quarter.
Oh, they were dominating. It was 12-0 for LCA even got on the board.
Anderson thought about it. Bryan moves in back to Wire. Over to Brennan Hall. Hall had 9 points in the first quarter. That's what he's at right now. He's been shut down here in the second. Mavis back to Hall. Remember, Hall hit the nearly half-court shot there. Right side, Neff. He launches off the iron, and there's Hill. Ball knocked away from Hill and picked up by NCC's Anderson. Anderson, Mavis, deep 3 right side. No, there's Road battling. Hill's got the rebound. Trevor Hill.
Nate Valentine doing a great job switching his defense's man and 2-3 zone, kind of keeping Newport out of that rhythm they had gotten it on offense.
And here's going to be a trip called on Hall as he tripped Hall there. How about that? You got Hall working on Hall.
Sounds like a law firm or
sure
something.
Does. Hall, and Jaw. 2:02 to go here in the first period. Gary Ball with Greg Horn, William Warfield. Otto Spall Car Wash. Thanks to Otto Spall Car Wash for making this broadcast possible. Road, ball knocked away, and that could have been over the back, no call. There's Hill working in on Anderson. Hill stops free throw line, back to Cal Road. King calling for it on Wire. How many fouls does Wire have? 1?
I think just 1, but it'll be good to get into Trey King and maybe try to get a second one on him.
Trey King working on Wire. King skips it out top now to Hendrickson. Down low, King has it, and that's Road has it blocked, and there comes Wire out of there with it. Hall works down on Hill, scoops and scores.
Well, Kyle Rowe, he went up strong, and sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't.
LCA had it down to 26-21, now 4-0 unanswered by New Cath. It's 30-21 Breads. Hill into the lane, little floater, little shot, good.
Great job by Trevor Hill. The hesitation move was phenomenal.
That was phenomenal. And he had to stop and pop it over the big guy and make sure it wasn't blocked. 30-23. Breads by 7, a minute to go here in the first half at the Frankfurt Convention Center here. I like this arena, don't you, Greg?
Oh, it's a great place for basketball, really is.
Hall almost turned it over into the paint area. Hall, little scoop shot. He's got that scoop down, doesn't he? He's got 13 points now.
Yeah, cannot allow ball penetration like that. I know they're going to talk about that at halftime.
King LCA needs a three-pointer here to cut this thing down to 6. King backs up, high ball handler, tries to skip it down low, and it throws it right to Hall, who stepped in front of the defender there, Austin Hall.
Yeah, one-handed pass like that by Trey, just can't do that. Got to have two-handed pass. Get it to your point guard. Let him run your offense.
Ronnie Don wants the last shot here before halftime with the 9-point lead. 15 seconds, gives to Wire. Wire penetrates, kicks into the corner. Mavis, the three, off the mark, and battle down low. Neff throws it up. It won't go, but he's fouled. Austin Neff.
That's 3 on Trey King, so that really, really hurts.
King, you were just hoping, you were 7 seconds away from him staying away from his third foul. Big Trey King, and he picks it up. And so Robleski is wearing 24 today, not Neff. So that's Robleski at the line. Usually Austin Neff, at least in the program I saw, he was wearing, unless somebody lost a jersey. But they keep announcing this guy as Robleski, so we're going to go with that as well. I'm going to say Robleski's wearing 24 instead of Austin Neff for NC. They've got a 9-point lead here, Greg, but Lexington Christian does have an opportunity with 7.4 to get a basket here before halftime. He got them both, Robleski.
Yeah, need to get a shot this time and not a turnover for anything easy for Newport on this press.
Road down to 3 seconds in the corner. Hill launches the three off the iron. No, it was a good look though. And Newport Catholic will take a 10-point lead into the locker room. The Brads 33, the Eagles of LCA 23. We'll come back here with some halftime activities here at the Frankfort Convention Center with Greg Horn, Gary Ball, and William Warfield. 33-23 the lead for Newport Central Catholic by 10 here at halftime.
Let's see if I can get some stats.
Okay, great.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's is a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Kentucky's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky High School Athletic Directors Association.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Give a loud mention to the car wash again, and I'll throw their logo up.
And we're back here at the Frankfort Convention Center, and we want to thank Otto Spall Car Wash, preferred car wash of the LCA basketball. That's Otto Spall Car Wash, preferred car wash. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, and Greg has compiled all the stats very diligently, and he is going to bring them to you, all the stats. And I'll tell you what, the big stat, though, Brennan Hall, Greg, with 13 points. He had 9 in the first quarter, and, of course, he hit that long 35-footer right there at the end. It actually extended their lead to 22-7, so we correct ourselves. Cath, with that three-pointer, actually had a 15-point lead in that first half. They lead by 10, 33-23 here at halftime.
Well, LCA was able to get back in that game because of their performance in the second quarter, and with a 10-point deficit, they can still get back in it. The thing we talked about was the three-point shooting from Newport Central, averaging 4 guys shooting over 40% in the starting 5, and they've got almost 39% at halftime. Leading Newport Central in scoring is Hall with 13, Anderson with 6, Waves at 7, Wire with 4, and Neff has 3 for a total of 33 for LCA. You've got Carter Henderson came off the bench in the first quarter and gave LCA a huge spark. He's got 5 points. And then Trevor Hill, the senior, did a nice job there in the second quarter fighting and gave LCA 4 points. Also had an assist for them. Just had a couple of close shots on 3-point, just couldn't get them to fall. Trey King, 8 points and had 3 rebounds.
Yeah, right.
You and I don't know if they were watching the same game we were, Gary.
I think he had at least 5. They missed a couple.
There's no doubt about that. Trey, you have to watch him. He's got 3 personal fouls, so but good effort by the young man. Trey King did a good job competing. Kyle Rode, the freshman, had 4 points on 2 for 6 from the field, 2 rebounds, and Austin Hall rounds out the scoring. The sophomore had 2 points on a really nice putback for LCA's 23 points.
Yeah, I thought a good job. I thought a big lift by Carter Hendrickson coming in off the bench, pouring in 5 points in that first quarter because they were really flat to start the ball game for some reason. As you mentioned, Greg Horn, Newport Catholic jumped out 12-0 led 22-7 at the end of the first. And then LCA really settled into their groove a little bit, outscored New Cath 16-11 in that second quarter, really started to find themselves. And I think you're going to see a totally different, although I'm like you, I don't like the third foul on Trey King there late in the first half because he'll have to be cautious now. But Wire, 9 rebounds for the big fella for Newport Catholic. And how many block shots? I know he's got at least 3 or 4 block shots in the first half.
Yeah, he was really competing in there on that. He had 4 blocks. So he does really out. I knew he was good. Like I said, we saw him last year and all tournament team, but he's even gotten better, and you can see why Bellarmine got themselves a gym.
And Brennan Hall, the sharpshooter, coming off that 25-point game against the Bluebirds of Highlands. 13 points in the first half. As you mentioned, Trey King leading the Eagles attack with 8 points. And, he started knocking down some deep threes. His foot was just on, his toe was just on that line. He would have had another 3 in that first half. And I think Kyle Rode will step up here in the second half. He's too good of a player. 19 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, and being held right now to 4 points. I think we'll see Kyle Rode really start to assert his offensive game in the second half. Of course, Ben Wire, the big 6'7" senior center for Newport Catholic, is a big cog down there to get around. Trevor Hill took it at him that one time. He blocked it, but Trevor Hill showing his basketball IQ by pulling up now and saying, okay, you're not going to block it if I pull up and shoot the jumper from 10 feet out, which he did nicely on that one jumper.
Yeah, he really did. It was a great move. He broke the press, did a little hesitation move, shot that little runner in the lane. Great move by him. I thought one of the things also LCA did well in the second quarter by switching up defenses. Nate Valentine went to a 2-3 zone, slowed down the flow and the rhythm that Newport Catholic had gotten into offensively because they do such a great job with ball reversal. And then they also were attacking those ball screens the way they had told them to in the pregame in the second quarter. So hopefully maybe LCA can build off this second quarter and see what they can do as we get ready to start this second half. And we want to thank Auto Spa Car Wash again for being the sponsor here today. And we really appreciate them. Auto Spa Car Wash is the car wash of LCA basketball. We really appreciate their sponsorship today.
Yeah, appreciate that. Terry Johnson, the athletic director, Nate Valentine. We're just about set for the second half of basketball. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, and William Warfield bringing it to you in high definition. Newport Catholic leading by 10, but LCA will start with the basketball. It will be Hill, and it will be Hendrickson getting the start along with the Kyle Rode, Trey King, and also Austin Hall.
Yeah, trying to get a little more experience there. Isaiah Hunt, just a freshman, so good move to start Hendrickson.
And that's King. Gives it up over now to Austin Hall. Hall over to Hill. Down low to King, working on Wire. King, hook shot, knocks it down. Great shot by Trey King. He's got double figures now with 10 points to go with those 4 rebounds. I'm going to go ahead and give him another one.
Absolutely.
33-25. Bounce pass almost knocked away there, and good job there by NCC's Ludwig to throw it off of NCC's Hall. And let's see who Newport Catholic are going with. Wire, Anderson, Ludwig, Hall, and Mavis. Same 5 that started for Ronnie Dunn. Hall with those 13 points in the first half, works on Hill. Angles right. Boy, he's a nice ball handler for a sophomore, isn't he?
He really can handle it.
He's got great handles to the basket on King. Kicks it over to Anderson. Anderson down the lane. Little floater. Good.
Well, they can shoot the 3, but they also take it off the dribble really well. Good defensive stance by LCA, but even better finish there.
Hill trying to work it across the line on Anderson, who just hit that floater for the Breads, and lead back to 10 after LCA cut it down to 8 on the Trey King hook shot. So trying to bring Wire out from the basket, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a great move. Get him out and start trying to take it and open up for Kyle Rode.
Who tries to power it up, missed it in front of Mavis, rebound of a Wire. That's his 10th rebound. Here's Ludwig lining it up and knocking it down, 3-pointer by John Ludwig. First basket of the game for Ludwig.
Got to find those shooters in transition. The LCA's coaching staff talked a lot about that in the pregame.
38-25, the lead is 13 now for NCC. 6:30 to go in the third. In trouble is Hill, and he's going to be called for traveling as he's double-teamed there.
Well, Trevor Hill was trying to split that trap there, but unfortunately he moved his foot just a little bit, but good idea by him.
Anderson to Brennan Hall. 6:22. Go to Anderson in the corner, skips it over to Brennan Hall, open from a deep 3, and that's off the iron. No, nice rebound on the backside by Hendrickson. Hendrickson to Road. Kyle Skips it over to Hill. Hill fakes now, lines up the three, and it's in and out. Rebound is stuck up and in by Trey King. That's a dozen now for Trey, Greg.
Yes, sir, and that's what LCA needs. Get some transition baskets like that. Good ball fake by Trevor Hill. Trey King with the weak side rebound. Good job.
38-27. Kyle Rowe dives on the floor. Here's Hall. He might have got away with a travel. Short rebounded by King. Let's see if they credit him with that rebound. They only gave him 3 in the first half. Here's Hendrickson. Right side, Hall off glass. Won't go. Wire and Hall battling. Hall and Ludwig. And let's see the officials right there. And they're going to give that one to NCC. That could have gone either way. And, of course, the LCA fans thought it should have gone to White. And from up here, it did look like Ludwig knocked it out.
Great hustle there by the sophomore Austin Hall.
Wire down the middle on King. Kicks it over now, and here's a three-pointer knocked down by Anderson again. Third three-pointer by Brian Anderson. He has 11 now, and the lead is 14. And we're going to have a turnover called against LCA and backcourt on take. I tell you what, you never want to do that, Greg. Turn it over, taking the ball in bounds.
Yeah, Trevor Hill, just a frustration foul there, trying to get open on the press. And
oh, they called a foul on him?
Yeah, he called a foul on him, so that's going to be his third.
Wire, and knocks it down. Boy, New Cath really settling into it now. They have their biggest lead of 17, 44-27. 5:05, high pass to Kyle Road. And Road's going to be bumped by, no, we're going to have a timeout called before the bump. Timeout, Nate Valentine. 5:02 to go in the third, and Newport Central Catholic, who led by 10 at halftime, they've extended that lead to 17. 44-27 will return here on PrepSpin thanks to Otto Spall Car Wash, preferred car wash of LCA basketball. We'll be back. Three-point shooting, the story for NCC. I'll check their three-point shooting after this shot, and Hendrickson shot won't go out of the left side and pulled down, and NCC's Anderson throws it right back now, coming down with it. LCA, great steal there by McBeath. Christian McBeath over to Hall. They come back to Kyle Road. 4:42 Road. Down low to King, knocked away by Wire. Ludwig's got it.
Good look to Trey King, but just didn't get a good entry pass.
Road with the rebound on the miss there by Mavis. You know, you look at NCC, and Greg, you talked about the three-point shooting. Right side, and here's a three-pointer. Off the iron, no. Rebounded flying through for a Hall, and he's going to be fouled. If it goes on Wire, it's 2 on him. But back to the point I was going to make. They have hit 3 threes here already in the third quarter, and we've only played 3.5 minutes of the third quarter, and they hit 5 threes in the first half. They've hit 8 three-pointers in this game, NCC.
Yeah, we knew coming in the game that they were great because they were on the top of the teams in the state, 4th actually, and they have.
Ooh, that's a huge foul over the back wire. That's 3 on the big fella now. So you got King with 3, and his opponent, 44, Wire, wears Dan Issel's number with 3.
See what LCA does, try to maybe go after him.
Road spinning. Jumper from 10, rattles in there. Nice soft touch by Kyle Road, the freshman. 6 for him, 44-29.
That's the way LCA's got to do it, just one possession at a time. Not home run plays, just simple, good, solid offense.
Wire in trouble. King hitting the ball. Timeout by Ron Don. 3:50 to go in the third period. The Breads 44, the Eagles 29. Gary Ball with Greg. Your thoughts here, Greg, of the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds of the second half?
Yeah, the first minute of the half, thought LCA looked good. You know, scored a bucket, got it down to 8 points, and then Newport Central just went back to doing what they have done well in the first half, especially that first quarter, getting that great floor spacing in transition, finding the open 3, and it's great to be open, but you got to make them. And there, as John Calipari said earlier in the year for UK, we got a lot of good takers, but we don't have a lot of good makers. Newport Central's got some makers.
Well, Cal had some makers last night, particularly to start the game. They were 5 for 5 from 3 when Willis hit his first 3, and then the little fellow Euless hit a couple, so they were knocking them down. And I can't say enough about this Ronnie Don Newport Catholic team. You got Hall, who knocked down a couple of threes, Anderson, who's got 3 threes. They've got Mavis, who's hit a 3, Wire hit a big 3, and here's a steal coming away with it, LCA Christian McBeath. I like his game.
Yeah, he's getting a nice little spark and help too. And
Hall with the back to Road. Kyle last year, if you don't know, was listed as one of the top, maybe the top 8th grader in the country.
Yeah, he's an outstanding prospect.
King, 15-footer off the mark, tapped up, no. Battle for it is Hall. Coming down with it is Ludwig for Newport Central Catholic. Gives to Hall. Hall across the timeline. Kicks it right, throws it right. They lead it out now. Trying to track it down is Hendrickson. Ball knocked away, and he's going to be fouled on a reach, and Mr. Anderson better watch it or they're going to slap him with a tee.
Great effort there by Carter Hendrickson, still getting back into basketball shape, just been playing his 2nd week. I actually started his 3rd week, so great effort by that young man.
Anderson goes out. Ronnie Don wants to settle him down a little bit. They give it to King, working on Wire. King, ball knocked away. If that goes on Wire, that's going to get the big fella out of there with 4 fouls. Let's see who they called that on. Their officials are going to talk. Surely not going to change this on another player. They did.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. That was clearly on 44, was it not?
He definitely had as much as 12 did on him. So
they end up calling on Pengalo.
All right, good job by Trey King. He's shooting 63% from the free throw line. He makes that first one. Be huge if he can make this second one, cut this lead down to 13.
He's got his 13th point. Misses that one. Rebounded by Wire. He's got a bunch of them. He had 9 at halftime. He's got at least 2 or 3 here in the second half. So Wire looking for a double-double tonight. 3 minutes, 44-30. Breads on top of the Eagles. Gary Ball with Greg Horn and William Warfield, our producer. In the corner, here's a 3-pointer off the mark by Ludwig, and rebounded there by Christian McBeath. Kyle Road working on Hall. Road and Hall. There's a freshman and a sophomore. Throw to King. Wire all over him, no call.
Unbelievable.
Now here's King to the basket. Ball knocked away from Trey. Dumps it back out. Hall back in the corner. Here's the 3-pointer. They need it. Won't go. Backside. It's going to be over the back call there on Hendrickson. But yet no foul out here called on Wire.
Yeah, that one definitely was one up there that could have got King after that for kind of maybe a push-off, but I guess they're letting them play this half. I want to thank White Greer Maggard for being a sponsor of LCA basketball this year. They've been a great sponsor of LCA and a lot of high school sports.
Got my teeth cleaned about a month or so ago. Feel much better.
Absolutely, man.
44-30. Ludwig, baseline 15-footer off the iron, and here's going to be a foul call. Let's see who they call this on. And
they called on Hall.
Hall battling with Wire.
Yeah, is he go either way? And
Wire upset. So they're talking to Ron Don, and Coach Don calming him down.
Yeah, Austin Hall playing really physical. The sophomore, I think, getting into Wire's mind a little bit.
So the turnover there is Hall just threw it out of bounds. It'll go to LCA. 2:16 again. You hate to keep harping on it, but if LCA can get it down to single digits here before the 4th quarter, make a game. They're down 44-30. Greg Horn with 2:16 here in the 3rd.
I love what you're saying. I think that Coach Nate Valentine would be happy to get it down to 9 or 10 going into the 4th quarter. It could be anybody's ball game.
And New Cath is led by as many as 17. Here's a steal by Hall. Brendan Hall strips Road to the basket, scoops, lays it in, and he's fouled, and the basket will count. 15 for Hall now.
One of the frustrating things there, if you're Nate Valentine, is you can't beat the press by dribbling. You got to pass it. And I know Kyle Road, he's a great competitor, but you got to get ball movement.
One of the few times there Kyle has looked like a freshman, to be quite blunt about it.
That's true. That's true.
You got, when pressure comes, you got to, as you said, Gray, you got to throw that basketball, get rid of it. That's why they invented the pass in this game.
So headed down to 14, goes back up to 17.
That's 16 for Hall, by the way, coming off a 25-point performance. 47-30 equals the biggest lead for the Bread, 17 over this good Lexington Christian team. Everybody's saying, yeah, right, you guys are the LCA broadcast crew. No, we're not. Greg Horn is. Bottom line is they're 12-10. Here's a foul called. They're 12-10, but they've played one of the toughest schedules in the state of Kentucky, and they still have 12 wins. Talking about LCA, New Cath came in 17-3.
Right now, LCA needs to try to make a run. Wires on the bench getting a little breather to end this third quarter. So, look, LCA maybe try to.
Three-pointer won't go there out of the deep
Good
corner.
job by Hall.
And stick up and in. And King mixing up a little bit with, I think that was Robleski. Robleski and Trey King, and officials are going to talk to him a little bit. Just getting after it, Greg, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good effort. Both teams playing hard. Good high school basketball game. Great hustle there by Austin Hall. He just took that rebound away.
Pangala works it across, gives to Brennan Hall. Hall to the basket, kicks it deep in the corner to Mavis. Fakes the three, goes in on Rode. Rode at 6'5", cut that off in a hurry, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Brennan Hall at 6 foot, working on 6'7" Trey King. That's Robleski. Down low, Mavis spinning on Rode and put it off glass and in. Mavis. And here's a steal by Newport Catholic and stolen by Robleski.
That's going to be 4 on Trevor Hill, unfortunately.
So Hill with 4. Still haven't been able to get that fourth foul on Mr. Wire, have they?
They have not. And
it's been close a few times.
Yes, it has been.
Very, very close. Pangalo. Hill diving on the floor with those 4 fouls, and he should have gone forward to the man that had cut the line, Hendrickson, but he tried to throw it backwards. That's going to be over and back.
Yeah,
he had out in front of him Carter Hendrickson, the sophomore. 48 seconds. 49-32. Pangalo to Hall. Ball knocked away. Picked up by Hill. Hill knocked to the floor by King. Gives it back to King. Coach Don saying, where's the travel? Hill knocked to the floor again. I tell you what, I think I did the Newport Catholic football game, and I'm pretty sure I remember calling Trent Robleski's name, and I think he still thinks he's in football season.
Well, he came in from Wire, and he is definitely a physical player. .34 seconds. Hopefully LCA can get something here on the board.
49-32. That's Hendrickson. Gives it out to Hill. Trevor's got 4 fouls now. Crossing over on Hall. Hill looking. Gives it up to King. King working on Robleski. King strong move to the basket. Throws it off glass. Good. He is fouled. He will get the soup and the sandwich.
Yes, sir. Great job by Trey King. One of the things he's really added to his game this year as a junior is his ability to put the ball on the floor, Gary.
15 for TK. Trey King, a junior. Well, they've got Rode back next year, King back next year. Of course, Hunt's a freshman.
Austin Hall's
a sophomore, and Hendrickson's a sophomore. Future looks bright.
It really does.
King knocks down the free throw. How about this young man? 16 points. He's going to have a double-double tonight, Mr. Horn, before this game's over. And by the way, how's Darren doing?
Doing really well. Enjoying Austin.
What's not to enjoy about Austin, Texas? That's a great town, isn't it?
It really, really
is. A lot
is.
going on in Austin, Texas. Of course, if you don't know, Greg is the brother of Darren Horn, former Western head coach, and coached, South Carolina?
Yes, sir.
And now is at the University of Texas as one of the top assistants.
Fortunately, Austin Hall got called for a foul on that block out there.
Goodness gracious.
So,
you got to let them play basketball. It's an all-A tournament. Here's the three-pointer, knocked down out of the side by Ludwig. Second 3 by Johnny Ludwig here in the second half, and the lead is 17 again. A road shot is short. And as we head to the final quarter, Newport Catholic laying it on them. They lead 17, 52-35. We'll return here thanks to Otto Spall Car Wash, preferred car wash of Lexington Christian basketball, and also thanks to White, Greer, and Maggard here on PrepSpin. We'll return with fourth quarter action here with NCC leading 52-35.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up in all sports. Pick it up in all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned.
Gary Ball with Greg Horn, William Warfield back at the Frankfurt Convention Center here in the state's capital, where Governor Matt Bevin laid down the budget the other night. And don't know what you think of that, Greg, but you got to make cuts. I guess you got to make cuts.
That's a no-win situation. You never can make anybody happy when you're doing a budget. So.
I know the university's got hit pretty hard. Long pass over to Pingallo down the Wire. Wire has it knocked away, reaching foul. And we're going to have a foul called. I think it's going to go on Hall, I think. No, they called it on Kyle Road. That's 3 on Road. So you got Trevor Hill with 4, Kyle Road with 3, and I believe Trey King has 3, yeah. So those are your big 3 there. And then here's Wire at the line, and free throw rolls in. That gives Newport Catholic their biggest lead this afternoon. 53-35, 18-point lead, led by 17 a couple of times.
They have. LCA's knocked it down to 10 and even had it, I believe, 8 early in this half, but making that 3 ball again, as Newport Catholic did before the game. We knew they were a great 3-point shooting team, and they've executed their offense to perfection today.
Kyle Road, Hendrickson, long 3, front of the iron. No, there's Trey King with a rebound. King to the basket on Wire, won't go, and battling there with the left hand, putting it up and in is Carter Hendrickson. 7 for Carter now, and it's 54-37. Newport Catholic by 17, 7:25 to play. Gary Ball with Greg Horn and William Warfield here on PrepSpin. 3-pointer out of the corner, another one knocked down by Mavis. That is a dozen now for Luke Mavis, the junior. The lead is 20, the largest lead that New Cath has had. Hendrickson, and takes to the basket, rolls it up, no rebound by Wire. Wire leads it out to Brennan Hall with 16 points. Hall to the basket on Hill, and they're going to count the basket, and Hill is just fouled out of the ball game, I believe, Greg.
Yeah, that's going to be it for him. It's been a tough day for Trevor Hill. He always plays hard and had some good moments, but just fouls, just some were close calls.
Isaiah Hunt, the freshman, will come in for Hill. 6:59 to play, and Newport Catholic 59, LCA 37. Winner here will get Danville tomorrow night, Greg, at 6:30 right here at the Frankfurt Convention Center. Move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, saw Danville play LCA. Danville beat LCA. It was a home game for Danville. Danville's got a nice little team.
Yes, they do. Danville will give Newcastle some trouble with their quicks.
McKinney, outstanding player for them. So
that's barring a 23-point come from behind here in the last 6:55 by LCA, of course. Road in the middle to Hunt. Over to Carter Hendrickson. Back to Kyle Road, cutting through. Road stops, pops from 10, back of the rim, no. And getting a hand on it there, Anderson. And Hall thought he was pushed, no call, but they're going to give it back to Newport Central Catholic.
Great move there by Kyle Road with that stop on the dribble and spin, turnaround shot. Just couldn't get it to fall, but really a great move by the freshman.
Looking at some numbers here, Greg Horn, 7, 15, 19 now for Hall. He leads everybody, and 16 for Trey King to lead LCA, scoring-wise. The game top scores.
Yeah, you knew Wire was going to be really good, but didn't know that Hall would, but he is playing well.
Skips it over to Pingallo. Bounces to Ludwig. Mavis back to Ludwig. 6:18 to go, and Newport Catholic and Ronnie Don are going to run some clock here with that 23-point lead. Why not?
They have such great floor spacing.
Wire, who's 6'7", is also a good ball handler. Here's Hall, shovels it back, and scooped up, rolls out there won't drop in there for Mavis.
Yeah, Ronnie Don claps his hands because he executed perfectly, just unfortunately didn't get the fall, but great spacing, great ball movement, and had a great shot, just couldn't get it to fall.
King, ball kicked out, and Wire got a hand on it, knocked it off of Trey's foot, out of bounds. That's a good call. 5:48 to play, 60-37. Newport Catholic on top of Lexington Christian. There have been some one-sided games in this All-A, haven't there?
Yeah, there have been.
There's a three by Ludwig, and they're going to count the basket. And the basket will count. I think they called a foul as well. 3 threes for John Ludwig.
Christian foul by number 23, Trey King.
Foul went on King. Foul after the three-pointer, so here's a 4-point opportunity for Ludwig. He has 9 points, Greg, all 9 here in the second half, Ludwig. He didn't have a point at halftime.
Yeah, Newport Central's got a really nice balanced team. They really do.
They lead 63-37. Lead this good Eagles team by 26 points. Kick in the corner, Hall lines it up, and it's off the mark. Wire there, but picked up by Rode. Reverses on Wire. Wire got a piece of that one. And there's Hendrickson there. He goes up over Wire and draws the foul there. Good job by, I like Carter Hendricks. He's saying, I don't care if you're 6'7" or whatever. I'm going right at you. Wire. So they get the fourth on Wire with 5:16 to play, Greg, but they lead 63-37, Newcastle.
Yeah, they several close opportunities. It just didn't happen. But like I said, Carter Hendrickson just been one of the bright spots today for LCA. He's got a really nice stroke and shoot the three ball, can put it on the floor.
He's got 8 points.
Good job there by Carter.
9 for him now, Greg, and it's 63-39. Newport Catholic on top. Mavis hands it back to Wire. Of course, depending on what happens here, this would be our only broadcast. If LCA loses, we will not be back here to the All-A Classic. So just letting the folks watching know that. We're only designated here for the Lexington Christian game, and that's thanks to Auto Spa Car Wash, preferred car wash of Lexington Christian. Thanks to Auto Spa for sponsoring this broadcast. 4:55 to play, and knocked away by, no, they say Rode did not get a hand on that. Good thing, because it goes out of bounds to LCA.
Well, this is one of these things here. You want your kids to, even though the situation with a 24-point deficit, still want to see your kids execute your offense, make good plays. You've got 2 freshmen, a sophomore, a second sophomore, and a junior out there. So a lot of young guys to get a lot of great, valuable playing experience.
Wire and Ludwig out to the basket, and we're going to have a traveling call as Robleski and Anderson. We're going to get Wire quickly back in, though, for Robleski, and Ludwig quickly back in for Anderson. So Pengallo, Hall, Wire, Ludwig, and Mavis. That's your 5 for Newport Catholic. And for Lexington Christian, you got Hunt. You have McBeath, they're out front. And you have Kyle Rode down low. Here's Ludwig and lays it up and in. Ludwig now. 11 for Ludwig here in the half. He had no points. He's got 11 now here in the second half. 65-39. This score surprises me, Greg Horn. Surprises me 100%. I thought, Newcastle a great team, but I did not know that they would have this margin of victory. Here's Rode, 15-footer good.
I agree with you, Gary. I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, that they would win, but never dreamed that they would dominate the game the way they have today.
Yeah, they've dominated from the start. Like you said, jumped out to 12-0. In the corner it goes now Mavis, and he's going to reverse it high. Won't go. Tapped up and in by Wire. Wire's got a double-double now. With that tip in, he has 11 points and 14 rebounds.
Yeah, they're a team I don't think anybody wants to face in the tournament in March, state tournament.
No, but the game I'm looking forward to this, here's Rode, a 3 out of the corner, would be Owen County and Newport Catholic. I would pay to see that one.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Rode, and he knocks it down. Kyle Rode with double figures now. That's 10. That wouldn't happen, I think, until the championship game, because I think they're in opposite brackets, aren't they?
I think so. I hope so, because it would be a good championship game.
Here's a steal coming up with it, McBeath. 3:25, 67-43. Hunt along 3, bullseye. First three-pointer for Isaiah. Remember, he tried a couple good looks in the first half, couldn't get them to drop, Greg, and got that deep 3 to drop from the right side, 67-46, 3:10 to play. Newport Catholic on top of Lexington Christian.
Well, this is good by LCA, still running their offense, making some shots. Good experience for their guys.
Mavis's 3 won't go, rebounded by Kyle Rode. 2:55 to play. Newport Catholic and Lexington Christian. Gary Ball, Greg Horn, William Moorfield. Nice spin move, road and finish. Kyle Rowe with the dozen now. He's got 8 here in the half. 67-48 as LCA cuts it down to 19.
Well, I'd love to see that. And I knew that LCA's kids would continue to play hard even though they were down by 25, 26 at one time. And so Kyle Rowe stepping up, showing why he is one of the top freshmen in the state and actually the country.
He is. So we will take a look at the bracket here of this tournament. And coming up later, McLean County will play Morgan County. That will be at 5. Kentucky Country Day plays Owen County, 6:30. Brossard takes on Murray at 8 o'clock. And then 9:30 tonight, Shelby Valley and Greene County. So indeed, if Owen County can get past their opponent tonight, Kentucky Country Day, and then if they could get past the quarterfinal game, they move to the semis. And I would say that, boy, that's a great matchup there between Brossard and Murray. You'd have to like possibly Murray in that one. And then, but like I say, it could possibly be a Newport Catholic Owen County championship game with apologies to some other good teams like Brossard, Murray, and Shelby Valley and teams like that. But I tell you what, Owen County's got Carson Williams, a Mr. Basketball candidate. There isn't much that big man could do. That would be a great battle between him and Wire.
Yeah, I saw him play up in the King of the Bluegrass tournament in December, and he is a nice player.
He's the real deal, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
67-48 here, just 2.5 minutes to play. The All-A Classic here in Frankfort, and New Cath wants a timeout. Ronnie Don didn't like the handling of the basketball there for some reason. I'm not sure what he didn't like, but Ron Don got the timeout there for the Breads.
Always coaching up. He's a really great coach, does a great job with his team. And last year we saw him take this tournament, and they're going to be tough to beat again this year.
Well, there have been some great players go through Newport Central Catholic over the years. Will Fong, Ronnie Don, Krebs. The Brannons, Johnny Brannon and Grant Brannon, and those guys, and all the Pengallos and the Samphases. I'll tell you what, I had fun in the 80s and 90s covering those Newport Catholic teams and all the teams up in the 9th region. And enjoyed.
Looks like Nate Valentine's cleaned out his bench, so he's getting some of the young guys in. Blaine Harden, the freshman, number 13, is checked in. Some of the other guys that they've got in there.
Black, was it Jacob in there as well? Bachman?
Yep.
He's in there.
I believe Blake Richardson may be in.
What's his name, Blake?
I believe it's Blake Richardson, if I'm not mistaken.
Richardson.
We can't see the numbers. They're sideways to us right now, but I think 20's checked in.
Okay. Ball knocked away, and we are really deep.
Will Hacker's checked in.
Yep.
Freshman.
So we'll be.
Jacob Blakeman is in also. So we got Jacob Blakeman, number 14, Blaine Harden, 13, number 12, Will Hacker.
Now this is Blakeman with it, and he kicks it over in the corner there. That is, looks like he's wearing 15. I'm not seeing a 15 on his roster.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him either.
32 is
Justin
Eiler. So we got a beat on everybody except we don't know who. 15's not on the roster. Lexington Christian turned into the All-A program. So.
Yeah, I've done several of their games, and I've not seen this young man play, so could be somebody new.
Newport Catholic's going to come in with Jared Isles. Isles has got the basketball, and also has Spencer Pengallo. They give it to the big fella Wirtz, who's 6'6". Wirtz goes back to Eiler. Go in the corner there to Pengallo. That's Spencer Pengallo. Back to Robleski. Goes through the hands, and it's going to be out of bounds off the hands there of Wirtz, Trey Wirtz. So you said both teams clearing the benches right now, which is, it's an all-A tournament game. You got a 19-point lead, so there's no 19-point play. So probably Newcastle's going to move on to the quarterfinals, but LCA, another great trip to the All-A Classic. Beat a good Frankfort team to get here in the regional final. Long three-pointer off the iron there for Eiler.
That's Will Hacker shooting the three ball.
That won't go, and then pulled down by the big guy Lucan, Brendan Lucan. I believe that's 34.
Blaine Harden with the reach in there.
Just a minute 17 to play. Newport Catholic will move on to play Danville tomorrow night in the quarterfinals. And Lexington Christian will start thinking about 43rd District play and getting a well, you got the 43rd District. It's loaded again with Dunbar, number 1 team in the state. Lafayette, top 10 team. Lexington Catholic, a rebuilding but a good team. Lexington Christian would probably play Tates Creek in that 4-5 game. Would probably be
I would think so.
Would be their 43rd District game. That's going to be played at Lafayette.
Matthew Johnson has just checked in for the Eagles, and Justin Whitmer, number 11.
So pretty much everybody.
They have cleared the bench. Nice for these young men, as you said, to get a chance to play on this nice arena.
Blakeman working it across for LCA. And there's going to be a foul called on the movement there by Lexington Christian, and whistle foul called, and they called that against Lexington Christian. Went on Whitmer. 1:08 to go.
Pierce Dalton now, number 2. That's, I believe they have totally got everybody in now. Pierce Dalton, a freshman.
Freshman Pierce Dalton is in there. He's out front. And Pengallo, they swing it back now to McDaniel, who's in there. McDaniel tries to dump it down low, knocked away, and picked up. Foul called, and that'll send Wertz to the line. And foul's going to go. They just gave him number 15, and even the PA guy doesn't know who that is. He's going to go down to LCA's bench and ask him who 15 is because he's on nobody's roster.
It's Blake Richardson. I text somebody from the LCA, and it's Blake Richardson.
So Blake Richardson. PA guy's still waiting for an answer.
He didn't know either.
Foul went on Blake Richardson, who's not on the roster anyway. 45 seconds. LCA with the ball there is Blakeman, and a travel called. Give it to New Catholic. If I'm Ronnie Don, I got a 69-48 lead. I'm pretty much just going to run this clock out. You got a 21-point lead, and let's see if he calls for that. He's sitting down on the end of his bench. New Cath, they kick it in the corner to Austin Neff. Pengallo skips it over to Neff, high over his head. Neff saves it though. Baseline, Neff going baseline. Kicks it deep in the corner, and there's a shot won't go off the mark for Pengallo, and pulled out of there with 15 seconds by Lexington Christian. Long pass to Richardson, to the basket, and missed the layup. Rebounded by Neff, and that's going to do it. And Newport Catholic's going to win it. 69-48, knocked Lexington Christian out of the All-A Classic, Greg. And who would have thunk it, huh? I mean, we knew New Cath was good. I thought LCA would bring their A game here tonight. They played well, but they did not have their A game. And Newport Catholic wins it going away 69-48.
Yeah, Newport Central, they're the real deal. Knew they were good, but just one of those days for LCA. Just couldn't get things going well at the beginning of the game, and even though they got it down into single digits there before it went to halftime, a little bit before, just second half, Newport Central kicked it back in high gear again, and just a great win by Newport Central. That's all you can say.
At one point to start late in the second quarter, it was 26-21, and LCA had the basketball. Had they been able to knock down a basket there, or maybe a three-pointer, cut it to 2, could have been a totally different ball game. But NCC was a more aggressive basketball team here this afternoon, and quite frankly, you talked about in the pregame, they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the state, and they showed why today, knocking down 3 after 3 after 3. They hit 5 threes in the first half, and we'll come back and tell you their final number, but I'd say they hit about 10 threes in this game.
No doubt about it. They, they're the real deal. Really knew it. LCA knew it going in, and yet just they got lots of guys that can shoot it. So we'll be back with some statistics hopefully here right after this break.
Thanks to Auto Spal Car Wash, preferred sponsor of Lexington Christian. Auto Spal Car Wash. We'll be back 69-48. New Cath knocks LCA out of the All-A Classic.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm Other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up in all sports, pick it up in all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's is a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you. Gary Ball with Greg Horn back here with the final numbers from this game. Thanks to the stat crew here with Greg Horn, Gary Ball, William Warfield. Looking for Newport Central Catholic. Brennan Hall led them with 19 points. We talked about 3-point shooting in the game, and listen to this. Newport Central Catholic, 11 of 24 from 3, hit 11 threes. We said they had probably 10 or more, and that's 45%. Hall led them with 19 points. 11 points for Brian Anderson, 12 points for Luke Mavis. 11 for Wire to go with 14 rebounds, 11 points for Ludwig. You had 3 points for Austin Neff and 2 points for Jared Isles. So that's your scoring total of 69 for Newport Central Catholic. They shot a total of 24 of 47, 51% for the game from the field. As we said, 11 of 24 from 3. From the free throw line, they were 10 of 18, so not a great free throw shooting number, just 56%. But yet when you shoot 46% from 3, you're going to win a lot of basketball games. Rebounding category, 30 rebounds for Newport Central Catholic, whereas 37 for LCA. So LCA a +7 on the rebounding. So a bright spot. You out-rebound Newport Catholic +7, so that's a bright spot. And here's Greg Horn with all the numbers for the Lexington Christian Eagles, who fall 69-48 to Newport Catholic.
Well, I echo what you just said there, Gary. LCA with leading the rebound margin. We all know rebounding is about effort, and LCA just having a hard time shooting the ball today, only shooting 35% from the field, and even worse, an anemic three-point range, 3 for 21 for 14%, and LCA is a lot better three-point shooting team than that.
That's 3 for, as you said, three-pointers. The other team hit 11, so that's 24-point differentiation from the three-point line. Even though you're +7 rebounds, you give up 8 more threes, and therein lies why Cath won the game by 21.
Yeah, that sums it up right there. Individual scoring for LCA. You've got Carter Henderson, who came off the bench and actually outscored all of Newport Central's bench by himself. He had 9 points, and Thoroughbreds only had 5, so total. So Carter Henderson gave LCA a huge boost off the bench with 9 points. Also had 7 rebounds, really competed, and it's good to have him, and that's a nice guy to have added to your team after that injury he suffered going into the month of February. Trevor Hill, the senior, always plays hard, gives it all he has, but just a tough day for him. Mama said there'd be days like those, and that was just one of those for him, Gary.
Unfortunately, Mama knows best.
She does, and Trevor just couldn't get things going, fouled out, finished with 4 points, but played hard as always. Also, Justin Wimmer played but did not score. Kyle Rowe, the outstanding freshman, 6 for 15 from the field, but did have 12 points, 5 rebounds. played really, really hard, but just a tough day for him. Trey King, 6 for 10, 16 points. He also had 7 rebounds to lead the Eagles in rebounding, or tied Carter Henderson with 7 rebounds. So nice game for him. Austin Hall, the sophomore, played really, really hard today. Competed hard, but he finished with 4 points. Isaiah Hunt, the freshman, hit a 3, and that is all the players that scored those 48 points for LCA. But as we said, Gary, 35% from the field, 14% from three-point range, but got to give credit to Newport Central. Great defensive team also.
Yeah, they are a great defensive squad, coached by Ronnie Don. They move on to play Danville. They will play Danville tomorrow night at 6:30. Coming up tonight here at the All-Lake Classic, it will be McLean County taking on Morgan County, a good Morgan County team at 5. Kentucky Country Day will play a really good Owen County team, the team of the week this week on the Scholastic Ball Report, Saturday at noon on the CW Lexington. So you can check out Owen County and the Lexington Catholic diving team this Saturday at noon on the CW. Brossard tonight takes on Murray, a good 16. That's a great matchup, Brossard and Murray. That'll be tonight at 8 o'clock, and then at 9:30 be Shelby Valley against Greene County. But as we said, Newport Catholic moves on to take on Danville, and that will be tomorrow night at 6:30 in the quarterfinals. For our broadcast teammates tonight, William Warfield, the King of Stream, our great producer here with PrepSpin, and Greg Horn, the voice of the Lexington Christian Academy Eagles. I'm Gary Ball. Thanks for watching. 69-48, big win for Newport Catholic, and LCA will get back to the drawing board and get back into action next week and get ready for 43rd District play at Lafayette on February 22nd. For Greg Horn, for William Warfield, Gary Ball, so long from the Frankfort Convention Center, where Newport Central Catholic knocks off Lexington Christian by a final count of 69-48. Thanks for watching here on PrepSpin, and thanks to our title sponsor, Auto Spa Car Wash, preferred car wash of Lexington Christian basketball. Thanks for watching, everybody.